Hello everyone, this is Zach again. We're back where we left off with the problem, where should black play first? So, first let me go over something before, well actually, I can give the answer. The answer is B. Now I'll tell you why now. So I want you guys to count how many moves were made in this area on the side, and this area in the center. So if you look at them, they all made 6 moves. Now I want you to try to count the points that they surrounded, the intersections of the board that they surrounded, that become their points. So if you look at the center one, played 6 moves just like all the other ones, made 2 points. Then if you look at the side, made 6 moves, made 1, 2, 3, 4 points. If you look at the corner, made 6 moves, and made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So, again, in the center, it made 6 moves just like everywhere else, but only got 2 points. Then the side made 6 moves and made 4 points. And then, in the corner, made 6 moves and got 9 points. So, the reason why this choice was correct was because, as we can see, if you play somewhere in the center, it's harder, it takes a lot more moves to surround territory. Like I said, there's a couple ways to surround territory. Either you capture your opponent's stones and you get the territory that was inside of their stones, or you surround areas on the board. So surrounding which areas is surrounded on the board is really an important part of the game. So, as I showed you, when he surrounded center, he only got 2 points. So it takes 6 moves to get 2 points. That means that that the center is the slowest way to make territory. Then the side is the second fastest way to make territory. And the corners is the fastest way to make territory, because you make fewer moves to gain more points. So this is why this choice at the beginning was correct. Because if we play on the corners, then we make territory faster than playing somewhere in the center, like here. And again, playing on the sides is okay-ish, but you can play on the corners and make territory faster than you can on the sides. So for this reason, in the opening of a game, we usually fill up all the corners here or here. Doesn't really matter.
Oh, I just found another shortcut.
And then we start filling up the sides. And then later in the game, once all these are filled up, then we start going towards the center. So usually a game doesn't go like how I'm showing right now.
Okay, wait for me at the top.
But sometimes it does. Usually there's other thing called joseki, which are patterns for opening moves. I'll just give you an example. I put here, and something like this. So this is like a simple joseki. So as you can see, none of these moves were in the center. If you want to really know what the center is, think about the star points first. I should also mention that the star points don't have any purpose except for just showing you where you are on the board. Now I want you to draw a line across from each star point to the next, or make it like a fence. So in the beginning of the game, you never want to play above the fence. You never want to play on what we call the 5th line, because this is the 1st line, 2nd, 3rd line, 4th line, 5th line. We never want to play on the 5th line. We want to play on the 4th line or a little below, because this is how we make territory faster. Anything in the 5th line above, we don't make territory as fast. This is like the center. like I showed before. So we want to play on the corners, then on the sides, then in the center. You'll learn Joseph keys and stuff like I just showed as you play and as you study. But for right now, just learn the rules and learn the basic concepts before you really go into more of the advanced concepts. So, if for some reason you watch pro games or something, you might see some pros who make strange moves like this Tengen, or even sometimes on the first move they make, the Tengen is a 10-10 point. The Tengen is the very center move. This Tengen, the very first move, which looks strange because you're supposed to play on the corners and the sides and the center. This move is not popular by many because of that reason, but of course they are pros, and so they all have a reason for what they do. It really also depends on your style, but when you're a beginner, and even when you're even around the rank of amateur Shodan, it's really not really a good idea to make these moves, just because, for one thing, in a way they are disadvantages to a certain respect, and it's really hard to comprehend how to use the stone. So, as a beginner, even if sometimes you see professional players or strong players make moves like this, don't try them yourself, because they always know what they want to do with them. They always have pictures in their mind of what they're going to do in case this happens or that happens. So, as a beginner, you just want to stick to the basics, and you just want to stick to what is easy for you to understand, and then as you advance, you might be able to try out things like this. I should also mention that the corners are really just like around this area right here. And I should explain also why E is wrong. E, if you play E, you're gaining no points at all. If you play E, you're just filling in a spot on the board. You're not surrounding any territory at all. So E is completely wrong. Then, like I said, this is like the corner right here. I should explain, well, D is on the side. Like I said, you're supposed to play at the corners and then the side. But I'd like to also say, this move is also wrong on the first move. Like I said, it's inside the corner, but this is a different concept. It's the concept of which line to play on. So like I said, you don't want to play on the fifth line and above, because then you're in the center and you're not making territory as fast. You want to play on the fourth line, or you want to play on the third line, but you don't want to play on the second line, because on the second line, yes, you're on, or let's say you're down here. Yes, you're inside of the corner, or maybe on the side, and you're making territory, but you have to strike a balance. If you do this, you can make territory faster than if you play on the second line. Because if you're playing on the second line, well, here, let me just give you this example. So let's count the points right here. So, right here, this group right here is on the second line. This one's on the fourth line. So if you'll count the moves they both made 12 moves. So let's see how many points they surrounded. This one on the second line surrounded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points with 12 moves. So now let's look at this group that's on the fourth line. Made 12 moves, made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 points with 12 moves. So here, it made 12 moves and 10 points. And over here it made 24 points with 12 moves. Twice the points of the moves it made. So, as we can see from here, when we play on the second line, we're not making as much points with the moves that we could be making. If we play on the fourth line, we can make a lot more points. Now then, you would obviously ask, well then why don't we play on the fifth or sixth line and make even more points? That's really because then your opponent can get into your territory easier. If your opponent gets into this territory and makes 2 eyes, then that means that it's not your territory anymore. So the higher up you go, the harder it is for you to secure your territory and make sure your opponent doesn't get into it. So that's why we don't want to play above this into the 5th line, and we only want to play in the 4th and 3rd lines, because the 2nd line is too low and you're making very little points with the moves you're making. The 1st line, you're not making any points. The 4th line, it's kind of like the balance between territory and like making a faster amount of territory, which we call influence. The 3rd line is like a secure territory. With the 3rd line, you can make a good amount of territory, but you're also secure in doing it so that your opponent can't get into it. The 4th line, you can make more territory. It's just harder to keep your opponent out. So that's it for this lecture. That's it for the beginner section for a little bit. I'm sorry for the background noise. My brother was making up a racket. So anyways, thank you for you guys watching. I'll probably upload a video soon. For a little bit while anyways in the beginner section though. Okay, thank you.